Soaring Eagles, developing breeds of excellence.
Hi viewers, welcome to Soaring Eagles first edition in 2025. Emma is a young professional who feels stuck in a rut. Her mornings were always chaotic, her days were unproductive, and her evenings were full of anxiety. One day, Emma decided to make a change, and she did that by incorporating two positive habits to her routine. To her routine, one is she usually wake up 30 minutes early to meditate and journal. The second is she usually take a walk, a 30-minute walk during her lunch break at work. And then it was something that she felt forced doing because it wasn't part of her routine. But as time went on, she kept on persisting and she made sure that these two routines were non-negotiable in her life. Fast forward to 30 days later, Emma noticed a profound change in her life. She became more focused, she became happier, and her relationship life, her work life changed. All these things happened because of the power of positive routine and habit that was introduced to the life of Emma. So, our topic for today is the power of positive habits and routine. This topic is very, very important for 2025. If you want to have a successful year, then you need the power of positive habits and routine. Please join me as we welcome our guest speaker for today. Hi, Ma.
Okay, good day or good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're watching from.
You're welcome. We are so thrilled. Personally, I'm thrilled to have you on board. Thank you for honoring this invitation to talk on this subject. Thank you so much.
It's a privilege. Thank you so much for having me on this platform.
Thank you. We love to know your name. We love to know what you do. We love to know you.
Okay, I'll try to be brief, or I will try to be concise about it. My name is Onyechi Gift Onike. I am a co-founder of the Champion Mind Spark Academy. Here we train corporate organizations, we train on leadership management, we train on personal development and productivity management, and we do a whole lot of things. We also, I'm also a co-founder. Okay, we also have a YouTube channel where we have Onike's Haven. There we create digital assets and we drop videos there from time to time aimed at making your home a haven and taking your home to heaven. That's actually our mantra on the Onike's Haven. We also do other things. We have the Table of Champions radio show, a weekly inspirational radio show, and I'm always there. I'm one of the team members there. We work to inspire young people and our generation entirely just to make our society better. I'm also a mother, and then I'm a coach. I do personal development and things in that line. Okay, by reason of my 10 years, I have a 10 years banking, about 10 years banking experience in the bank. I also coach and mentor, do financial mentorship and coaching too.
Wow, that's a lot. Nice to meet you, Ma.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so we're going to run into the questions. We'd love to know what routines and habits are. What are routines and habits?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. When you started, you actually told us about Emma, which is a good thing, and I think those watching or listening right now will have an idea of what a routine or habit is. A habit is simply something you do repeatedly, unconsciously, without thinking about it. There are behaviors, activities you carry out in your day-to-day life without thinking about it. If your phone rings now, the hand you used to pick your phone and the ear you listen to it, you used to put it in the hand, you had the right hand and the left hand, actually it's as a result of your habits. Once your phone makes a sound, most likely, unless you have actually worked on it, you want to always go for your phone. And but then these actually habits that you pick up with time unconsciously. You know, sometimes you do something you don't even know you did that. True. You're holding something, you drop it somewhere because you're not even conscious of what's happening. So those things you do habitually, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do for those that are spiritual, those that are religious, want to pray, spend some time, have a quiet time, then before doing any other thing. Some other people want to pick up their phone and catch up on the social media handles to know what's going on there. Some other people, let me wake up, let me brush my teeth and go and do exercise. These are actually different habits that people have picked over time. So these are habits, what you do routine, and what you do unconsciously every day, yes. But routine is actually a structured series of habits. They are actually things, they are series of habits that you do at either intervals, at a regular interval, or maybe sequentially. Let me use an example of, maybe let me say you do morning devotion in your house, and then the first thing you come in the morning, for some people, their own routine is that they go through, maybe you clap your hands and sing, then you pray, then you read the Bible, and then you elaborate on what you have learned, and then you pray again. That's a routine of how we do it. So there are actually several habits put together. They are structured together at a regular interval or sequence. And that's what routines are. I believe that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much. Now, we'd love to know the difference between positive and negative habits. Let's start with that.
Okay, so just as the name implies, positive results in positive growth. Positive habits result in personal development. Negative habits will result in negative growth. They will destroy, they will damage you, they will maybe bring about destruction of your health, bring about destruction of your relationships and the likes. So habits that you practice or cultivate that brings about a positive growth and development in your life, it brings about the improvement of your well-being generally, actually what we refer to as positive habits. And then vice versa, habits that if you practice, bring about negative growth, just like maybe eating junk foods and doing little exercise, being sedentary in your life. You don't want to, just being lazy or procrastination. All these are negative habits because in the long run, it can be very destructive. They make you unsuccessful. Let me talk about this a little more before you ask me some questions. Do you know that this is 2025? A whole lot of people have big goals or dreams that they have for themselves this year. And the problem is that they are looking at it as if they have to just perform a big miracle to help them to achieve those goals and dreams. But then they don't understand that it's actually some little habits that need to change that will actually get you to the destination, to your desired destination and go. That's why this episode of this show is very important at this time of the year, because you have several plans for your life. You want to be a writer, you want to be a reader, you want to be healthy, you want to keep fit, you want to be more spiritual, you want to spend more time to know God, you want to feel the Spirit of God, you want to maybe create more videos or begin to, whatever you want to do in the long run, maybe take a particular exam or a particular qualification or professional kind of exam, whichever one it is. But then these things actually are not Herculean, as they're not so big like that, like insurmountable as we see it in our mind. We feel overwhelmed, like, how can I get this done? But it's actually a little change in habits, one after the other, by accumulating the effects of little habits. In no time at all, you see you've achieved that goal and even gone on for other. The habits are wonderful. Do you know that? Because when you start doing them, they give you motivation to do the next one. So it's something that everybody should sit back and look at. What habits do I want to change? What do I want to achieve? I think we'll talk about that probably in the course of the interview, but then in the course of the interaction. But then you want to look at what you want to achieve. Then you begin to write down habits that's actually stopping you from achieving them, and write those ones that will actually help you to achieve them, so that you can achieve the desired goals for 2025. So at the end of the year, in December 2025, when we're eating the chicken, to be entering our stomach and say, yes, we smashed our goals, we achieved our dreams. That would be wonderful.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, can you also list out few but simple but effective habits one can incorporate into their lives in 2025 since we are talking about habits, and this is the early period in 2025, a lot of people would love to have positive shift and change in their life at the end of the year. So can you tell us some habits we can introduce into our lives that can make us better?
Yes, I mentioned some because of my conversation already, but as a way of listing it, I would say you can start habits of, okay, you want to be you want to be more spiritual, you want to know God the more, you want to be filled with the Spirit of God. By all means, make sure you practice, you start your quiet time,
Okay.
because that will actually give you a time to personally experience and encounter God. We need churchgoers or people that, or religious people, just go to church and come back. But you don't really spend time to know God the more. And yet they want to, that there's something lacking. So something that you're talking about, okay, waking up early and then spending time to have a quiet time. You want to maybe you want to publish a book maybe before the end of this year.
Yeah.
And you are thinking, yeah, how will I publish this book? This is a huge task. I've never done this before. Now, you start by writing a day. Every day you can say, I'll write, even if it's a page a day. Or you want to read maybe so number of books, maybe it's 10 books, 20 books at the end of this year. You start by reading maybe 1 page or 2 pages a day. You don't have to start with something so big, because you're trying to start and cultivate a habit. When you're trying to plant, for instance, maize crop, you don't plant the crop itself, the plant itself, the seed. So you start small, then it grows. So even if you're trying to pray, say, I cannot pray for 2 hours. I cannot fast and pray for so number of hours. But then it starts by starting small. So whatever habit you're trying to start this year, maybe exercising too, is another habit that people should practice. It's actually a tough one, because I know I started it at a point. I struggled with it. Then I started picking it up. I struggled with it. Sometimes I even left it totally. I started picking it up again as time went on. But it's something that we should, as much as possible, work on being exercising this year, because it actually gives you, it prolongs your life. And then statistics have it that people that exercise actually have less tendencies to many kinds of sicknesses, especially at old age. And many of us want to live long and healthy. We don't want to have 50 or 60. And then we're now saying, you cannot walk. You are having, maybe this one is different kinds of diseases. What you say, old people's diseases. We have seen people that are old, but they are strong. We know some of them already in our current time. They are very old. They're in their 80s, they're in their 90s, and they're still strong. And this things didn't happen by magic. It happened by intentionally picking up habits that will promote long life. So one of those things is going to be exercising. You can't be this our time and age is one that people work from home. People don't have to go out to do a lot of activities. So a sedentary lifestyle is on the increase. I can stay in at the comfort of my home and make millions of naira every month, or even dollars, and then I don't go out. I don't really meet friends outside apart from online. So there's need for us to consciously bring ourselves as in be active. Other things can also be journaling. Begin to write. I didn't know that I was speaking when I was younger. When I was single, I was always writing about my day every day. Nobody was forcing me. There was no reason. I think I just had this personal, like you're self-accountable to yourself. I want to write about what happened every day of my life. And sometimes I wrote about my day. Sometimes I wrote to God when I had issues or challenges. I addressed it to God. I didn't know that it was actually a kind of discipline I was cultivating. I was cultivating a habit. I was just doing it then. But it's actually something wonderful. It helps to relieve stress. It helps to place things in better perspective. It also helps you to meditate deeper than the regular person you see. So journaling is also something that I will encourage you to pick up doing. Another important thing I want to say is to-do lists. Many times people just wake up and then they just say, let's go out. The day starts. We're going to work. We're going to this. But they don't sit down, take the first few minutes, maybe 10, 15, 30 minutes of their day to list out what they want to achieve for those particular days. And so the day just goes anyhow. And they're not feeling comfortable, they're not feeling happy with themselves because they didn't achieve
Yeah.
what they wanted to do that day. So, and that's how I encourage people that want to have a rewarding and a successful 2025 to pick up also writing a to-do list. I've mentioned about 5 of them now.
Yeah.
Should I go on?
No. I would love to ask a question from what you just said. You spoke about different habits, we can introduce into our lives to make our life better. One of which you talk about, building your spiritual life, starting up your quiet time, and then yes, you talk about exercise. There was a time I decided to start sporting exercise, and I was only able to survive 1 month, and that was it. I just
Packed up.
left it. I just left it because of the stress and all of that. But it is refreshing, and then it is a beautiful thing. So I would love to ask a question about consistency. It is very important that we know, okay, how can we make this thing a routine? Since, okay, we know that, okay, this is the habit now. How can we make it a routine? Now I want to start maybe my quiet time, and then like I want to go closer to God. You said one of the things you do is to start your quiet time, and I don't know how to do it every day. I always skip, or maybe I try to start exercising. I do it today, and then the next time I do it is when I start having body pains or something. So, or the to-do list, I write maybe today, and then the next time I'm writing is next week. So how can I build consistency with this habit?
Now, just like you mentioned, consistency is actually what deters people from pursuing their habit to the end,
Yeah.
pursuing the desired habit to the end. And that's actually the magic in the whole thing. Without consistency, it's not a habit.
Yeah.
One important way I would encourage you to start is start small, then you grow from there. Just like I mentioned, if it's a book you're reading, don't say I'm going to finish 1 chapter a day. I remember I had that issue when I was preparing for my SSCE, and then I wrote on my I created a timetable, and I wrote the kinds of things. I say I'll read so number of chapters of this Ababio physics, new school physics. I said all those things then because I really was charged. I wanted to excel in my academics. I wanted to have come out with flying colors, but it was bad because I couldn't achieve it, and it was depressing the more because I couldn't achieve it. Because when you set out to do something and you say this is what I want to achieve today, now if you don't achieve it, you feel bad.
Sure.
Sometimes it can even make you feel frustrated. Sometimes it makes you pack up. I'm not doing it again. Yes. So, but then, if I was trying to borrow my younger self sense now, I would have said, start small.
Yeah.
You've not been doing this all this while. You just want to come and start doing a lot. You want to start writing 1 book in 1 week. Maybe because you saw one of your mentors said, I wrote this book under 3 days. And you feel like, wow, okay, I'll write my own under 1 week. I've not done anything like this before. You feel frustrated. You feel burnt out. You feel discouraged because that your mentor will probably have been, maybe that's his 50th book safe.
Yeah.
And then you now feel like, okay, you want to do the same thing. So it's important to firstly start small. Another thing is to have an accountability partner.
True.
Someone that you're accountable to the person. But most times you have inner motivation. An accountability partner is someone that gives you the external motivation to keep moving. Many times internal motivation will fail, just like you had your own. You wanted to get into sports, you wanted to keep fit, and then you started it, you're all pumped up, and within a month, the motivation you had, internal motivation, all went down. But then if you had an external motivation, an accountability partner who is serving as an external motivator, now maybe you're exercising together, or maybe the person tells you, okay, how long do you work out today? How long do you know that you don't want to give the person a negative feedback, so you want to do everything to actually get what you need to get done. to make sure that you give it, you say, I did this, I did this, I did this, just to keep yourself on track. So also creating a community around what you do can also help you. For instance, even exercising, maybe you want to go in your street, you can have a group of friends that do that together if you want to go out and run. But you can also incorporate maybe your siblings and all those things to work actually together. And that thing is also maybe you can use things like trackers and apps to help you to, be able to say, okay, how far have you gone? If you use a chat, for instance, and maybe say, okay, read, I want to write, let me just, I want to write consistently for the next 30 days. And you have a calendar and use a chart. And every day, day one, you have your 30 days there. Day one, you check it. Day two, you check it. When you want to come and sleep in day three and you've not done anything, you say, Kai, I don't want here to be blank. You don't want to have an X on that day. So you want to make sure you do that. So these are actually things that can help us develop and create the positive kind of habits we want.
Okay. Thank you so much. You spoke about accountability. So how can accountability and tracking process help one in developing positive habits?
Yes. Just like I mentioned about we have the habits you want to develop is internal. You're internally motivated, which is actually necessary for any kind of dream to be born. That motivation is there, but then it's not constant. Several times you get tired, some other times you get burnt out, some other times you're just feeling demoralized. Some other time you're even discouraged, like, okay, I've been working and working and working. Maybe say I weigh 75 pounds and 75 kg, and I want to lose some weight, and I'm working and working. I worked one whole month, and I check my weight, and still 71.2. It's like I'm even increasing it. Those things can be very discouraging. So when you have an accountability partner, the person will encourage you. So when your internal motivation is failing you, your accountability partner is there to encourage you, to guide you, to keep you going. Because most times emotions are up and down. They'll still get up tomorrow. So it's not like you're going to be stay demotivated all through. You'll still get up tomorrow. So those times when you're down, your accountability partner will be there to help you through that process. The same thing with apps. Apps can actually give you this, wow, maybe I'm on day 20. 10 more days. You're tracking your progress. You're tracking, or maybe say, I want to work out a certain number of times. I want to take a certain number of steps, maybe 20,000 steps. You want those apps help you when you're tracking it. You're getting this internal joy, internal happiness and satisfaction. Like, I'm making progress. I'm getting there. So these are actually tools that will help anybody achieve his or her desired goals and habit cultivation for this year.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We would also love to know some strategies we can use in cultivating positive habits.
Now, strategies will look at, okay, how do you start?
Yeah.
How do we go about it? Strategy, I would say you should break it down. Strategies, break it down. Most times they look Herculean. They look insurmountable. What you want to achieve can be overwhelming. But then when you break it down, you are able to, let's say you want to write a book. You're not going to say, I'm going to write a whole chapter 1 today. Start small. That's one of the strategies. Start small. Break it down. Once you start, and you can now start increasing from there. Maybe after 1 week, you say, I can even do another, I can do 2-3 pages. I can go ahead and do 2-3 pages. That's one. Another strategy I would say would be that you should tie them to values, to your values, as in tie them to what you want to achieve. Always, when you look at, let me say, this reading now, I said I want to read 1 book a day. If you're only thinking about reading 1 book a day, it can be discouraging. But when you say, I'm going to be a publisher I'm going to publish my first book by June 1st or 30th, it makes you feel like, wow, we have a goal. So you have this reward system in your head. It's actually helping you look at the end from the beginning, where you're still starting. So another thing will be, so tie it to the end result, the reward. So you don't just look at it as boring and then boredom sets in. When you tie to your end result, it's going to help you to achieve it. Another important thing is celebrate your small wins.
Yeah.
If, let me say, you want to lose, let me say I'm 75 kg and I want to lose and become maybe 65.
Mm.
And then maybe I become 74.5. Celebrate it.
Mm.
It's wonderful. It's as in it's a step towards progress.
Yeah.
And then it shouldn't be, don't just trivialize it, because if you're just feeling bored, if it's only like that whole 10 kg you want to lose and you're not losing it, you can feel bored and then you feel discouraged. Then celebrate your small wins. Everything, every milestone, celebrate it. If you said you're going to be writing every 30, you're going to be writing all the days of this month, and you clock your first 30 days, celebrate it. Celebrate your small wins. Every milestone, celebrate it. When you publish your book, celebrate it. Going for the next one, celebrate it. When you, for instance, let me say your plan is to make your first 10 million as a profit. As a business person, you want to make at least 10 million naira profit this year, and then maybe you made your first million by the end of January. Celebrate it. Be happy. Rejoice over it, because that actually has a way of boosting your motivation to go for more, to achieve more. So I think these are strategies I would encourage anyone to adopt this period. Start small, break it down your goals and your aspirations, yes. Then start small, then grow from there. Then tie it down to the end, your value, as in to the desired goal you want to tie your little routines and steps to the end result, what you want to achieve, because that keeps you going, that keeps you looking forward to something. And then also I'll say celebrate your small wins, and every milestone you have, celebrate it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So must positive habits be maintained?
By all means.
Okay.
By all means,
Why?
you need to maintain positive habits, because that's actually what makes, we are what we are. Aristotle said it, that we are actually what we do. So if you want to be successful, and you know this is, there's this book, I think 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, a book like that, by, can I remember the name of the person that wrote it? Is it Covey? No, not Covey. I'm not sure the particular name of the writer right now. But then these habits are actually what makes you or mars you. That's the fact. Your habits, God is wonderful. He gave everyone on this earth 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
What you do with that 24 hours is actually what translates to the quality of life you have. It's, what I'm saying is very profound, because sometimes you sit down where you are and looking at somebody else, and you think, this person, wow, I admire this person's life. You and that person have the same 24 hours. The difference that the person has cultivated a certain kind of habit that is bringing about the kind of result you are seeing, but you are yet to cultivate it. So if you want to see a desired result in your life, by all means, you must maintain positive habits, because there's no way around it. There's no shortcut to it. There's no magic to it. But then when you start these little habits, they actually generate magic, because they begin to snowball into many other things that you're saying, wow. For instance, if you start exercising, you're only feeling, okay, I'm feeling healthier, I'm losing some, maybe if you're overweight before, I'm losing some weight. It actually boosts your confidence. It energizes you, makes you feel energetic in the morning once you start with those kinds of habits. Such that you're going out, for instance, you're going for a sales call. You're not timid, you're not feeling, you are happy, your energy level is contagious. It has a way of sending waves, positive vibes around you, because you started your day like that. So by all means, positive habits need to be maintained. Wow.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, we have another question. That is, how can we identify and challenge negative thought pattern in our lives?
Yeah, when I was thinking about this topic on habits, I was thinking more towards the mindset that many people have actually
Yeah.
incorporated into their lives that's affecting them. A whole lot of a significant percentage of people you meet actually have this imposter syndrome.
Mm.
They feel they're not good enough.
Yeah.
Some people have fears like I can't do this. They doubt themselves, they have this self-doubt, they're afraid. What if I try and it doesn't work out well? What if all those what ifs? But then this is actually a call for you to sit back because those things actually tie you down. You can actually not be successful or achieve your desired goals if you still maintain those negative thought patterns. So the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you are thinking negative, you are going to have a negative output. Garbage in from inside, outside. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. So what is inside is what comes out. So those negative thought patterns, you have to quickly identify them. Identify those things that actually make you feel less of who God has created us to be. We are created in the image of God. And the Bible says, I am for signs and wonders. So when those negative thought patterns, something that makes you feel you can't do this thing. No, you don't deserve it. No, you're not beautiful. No, you can't even talk. No, you are ugly. All those negative things. No, you cannot have 1 million naira is too much for you. Just go for 100,000 naira. Yeah? All those things are actually limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And if we hold on to them, there's no way we're going to achieve our desired goals this year. I believe our desired goals actually to move from where you are to a better pedestal. So identify them. Number two, like think about them. Is it really true? That's the second thing. Is it really true? Is it valid? How valid are those beliefs? You're not good enough. So who is good enough? Who created the person that is good enough? So God created some substandard products. Is that what you're telling God? That God, no, you created some substandard. So most times those negative thoughts are baseless. They're those things that devil, whispers in our ears, and we begin to cogitate on them, and then in no time at all they begin to manifest in our time. But then, so firstly, identify them. So if necessary, write them out. Then secondly, look at them. Are they valid? I can almost assure you with 99.9%, none of them is valid. Then thirdly is to challenge them.
Yeah.
Challenge them, reframe them, and, replace them with positive thoughts. Positive, thoughts. Because when you feel like I'm not good enough, you don't know I am for signs and wonders. I'm created in the image of God. The word of God is, and his promises are wonderful. That's what I, as a believer, use. Because sometimes those self-doubts want to arise. They can come to anybody.
Yeah.
See, all these things can come to anybody, no matter what level you've attained. Yes, they can still come to you. You can doubt yourself. Am I sure I can do this?
Yeah.
Or maybe you have a big dream to maybe create a big school or a school in all the states that have these world-class facilities, or you want to but these things look so big, and you tell yourself, I'm not sure I can do it. But it's human beings that are doing it.
Yeah, it's true.
So you have to understand, use positive phrases, positive feedbacks to replace positive thoughts, to replace those negative thoughts. That's the major way you can use to combat them, because they should not be there. You have to be free of those garbage of negative thoughts so you can fly and be all that God wants us to achieve this year.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
So why are routine necessary for us to stay organized?
They are super necessary. Super necessary. Reason being that routines, just like I said at the beginning, they create structures for their routines are structured like series of habits. Structured series of habits. Now, for some of my mentors and coaches that I use, I have different coaches and mentors I follow for different things. One of the people I follow for habits, she said, like the first, maybe when you wake up in the morning, the first, maybe from 8 to 12 o'clock, She has structured her day. From 8 to 12, she does deep work. From 12,
Mm.
from 12, maybe 12 to 1 might be a break. From 1 to 4, she does shallow work, maybe responding to mails, comments on social media, all those ones that it doesn't need deep attention. Then from maybe 4 to 8 for family. So when you have these structures in place, they help you. They help make things easier for you. You don't have to be thinking and thinking, how can I, okay, when it's now time to start working, that's when you now start thinking, okay, what am I supposed to do today? But when you know that I'm supposed to do deep work, I'm supposed to create a curriculum, I'm supposed to write, I'm supposed to read or something. The major thing that actually makes you the hardest part of it, you do it that first period. That's a routine you are creating. A routine. I do this from this period to this period. I take a break. I do this from this period. Those routines actually make your life easier. It helps you in managing time. So routines, first of all, gives a structure to your habits. They help you to manage your time. Yes, because you will not, at the end of the day, start thinking, what did I even do with my day today? When you've already known that, okay, I'm supposed to do this morning, you don't have, when I just come, I know what I'm supposed to start doing. When I'm exhausted that time, I know, okay, I should take a break right now. I should take a walk. When I come back, I'm thinking, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to go on social media, and these are actually things that can help you. Another important thing is this. If you have routines, you will not easily forget what you're supposed to do.
Sure.
One of the things you want to do will not slip out like that. For instance, if let me use as a mother now, my routine is okay. I work from maybe 9 o'clock to I work remotely from 9 o'clock to maybe 1 o'clock. I know that okay, between 1 and 2, I should not pick my children from school. And I already know what I'm supposed to do. I won't forget my children in school because I'm so busy, because it's a routine. People forget their children in school.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen some of those. I won't say because maybe I just get so carried away with so much work, but I know how my work should have been. If I've structured my work, I won't fall into that trap of forgetting a child in school. Or I won't fall into a trap of what maybe not cooking. When I know I ought to have cooked and prepared for them between 8 and 9. So when they come back from school, they can have these are things that you actually, if you structure it, you will not miss it out. But then if you don't, some things will slip out. Yes. So it's very important to get that done.
Thank you so much. We are
It's
still
my
on this
pleasure.
subject of routine. How can one prioritize routine and make them non-negotiable in one's life?
Okay, so I would say you should start by, as I mentioned before, to prioritize your routine and make them non-negotiable, just to make sure by all means you achieve them. Since you should firstly have accountability partners or people you're accountable to. Other ones, you said also you can use apps. And that thing I want to mention here is that you can set alarms. Alarms actually, okay, for instance, when I was working in the bank, my husband was one doing school runs, what you call school runs, picking the children from school. And he can be at work and be so busy seeing patients, and he can easily forget them. So what he actually does is that he uses alarm. So that even now that he doesn't pick them again. Anytime he's at home, I see his alarm still rings. Go and pick the children from school. That's he has already programmed himself, like this is what I do. Because our children close different days, different time for different days of the week.
Yeah.
So you can use alarm system. Another thing is also using calendars. You can employ calendars. There are several softwares and applications that you can use now. You can put calendars and look at them as if they are appointments. Don't look at it as it's my work and if I want to do it. No. If you have an appointment with someone, you will actually go and get it done. Some of you that know me personally would have noticed I'm actually more consistent, or I show more presence now on the social media than before. Before now, I don't really care so much whenever I want to. Well, I met one of my coaches, and then he said, while I was having a conversation with him, I was telling him how it can be so tiring and discouraging to
Mm.
always keep posting and posting consistently and everything. He now said, no, I should not look at it that way. I should look at it as if it's my job. By all means, I must come to work. By all means, I must show presence at work. I must deliver results. I should look at it as an appointment. And that's the same thing. When you have a task to accomplish, don't look at it as it's if I want. No, 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 no. It's not about if you want. It's about what must be done. So by all means, you prioritize it and say, okay, this thing is a must do for me. I must achieve this. Make it put it as an appointment and not just a wish or I want to. I have to get it done. That's what you have to
Okay.
do.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
We are still on routine.
Okay.
Yeah, how can I use or how can we use our routine to support our long-term goals and aspirations?
Now, to support your long-term goals, just like we mentioned, it's actually these habits and then routines that will actually lead to achieving these long-term goals. They are your monthly goals, quarterly goals, biannual goals, or yearly goals, or even 5-year plans or 10-year plans. Now, it's actually these little habits and the routines that actually like form the building blocks to getting those things to achieving those goals. One of the ways I would encourage anyone is to align your
Yeah.
goals,
Online.
align your these habits to your long-term goals. I mentioned something like you're saying you want to publish a book. So when you align it, like, okay, so what do I have to do? By all means, I have to write. By the end of this week, at least let me have the draft of chapter 1. So today, what can I do in that line? Align your activities and the habits, the routines to your long-term goals. Then number 2, and that's now advise you to do if you want to make sure that your goals are flexible and also the habits and routines you are creating, they are flexible and also rigid so that you'll be able to get mileage. Because if you don't have time to also relax and be normal and feel okay, you might just feel like you feel you have burnout or you experience burnout. So align it to those goals. Always come back, review them, and see, am I online? Am I on track? Maybe you're saying by the end of June 30th, I should have published my book. What have you done at the beginning of, as in for the first week or first 2 weeks of the year? Or at the end of this month, what have you achieved? You're trying to say, okay, are they in that line? When you align it in that line, it actually helps you to keep going. So that's actually one way to use these structures to achieve our long-term goals.
Okay, do lack of lay down, you spoke about routines, how it is very important for us to write them down, use calendar alarms and all that. So do lack of this laying down, do I have to now write it on paper or do I have to, track these routines? Do lack of, laying them down affects our focus in our everyday life?
Very well, it does. It affects it very well because when you don't write it down, you're just like beating around the bush. Writing it, for instance, a to-do list. So I look at a to-do list like an appraisal list. Imagine this morning you woke up and said, okay, what I want to achieve today, I want to do the laundry, I want to do the dishes, I want to clean the house, vacuum the house, I want to, okay, I'm to make some calls to social clients, I want to meet this person, and I've written all these things down. Or maybe I want to also spend 2 hours in teaching my children, I want to do this, written them down. And then the day starts, you're not achieving them. Before anything, that if you have written it down, it has a way of giving clarity to you. You know what action to just do to knock them out. But if you've not written them down, it's like, yeah, I'm supposed to meet so person today. Oh, this 2-3 clients.
Hmm.
No, if you go
using that means or through that means, you will forget some things. So it's necessary you write them down and track them. Secondly, it's necessary you track them and write them down, because when you achieve them, it boosts your morale. It gives you more motivation to go further and achieve the next one and the next one and the next one. I'm sure you have experienced it sometimes. When you achieve what you have itemized that you want to achieve today, you feel so happy. Like, can we just sleep and be happy? You're sleeping and you're very satisfied within yourself because you achieved what you set out to do that day. So it's writing them and tracking them. Okay, have I achieved this? Yes. If I couldn't achieve this, why couldn't I achieve it? Okay, tomorrow, let's carry it over. This is actually a habit of using to-do lists that what to-do list can help you to do. It can help you to track your progress. It can help you to be more productive if you go with a to-do list.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much. I think everybody desire to be successful, and then I believe everybody have something in mind they would love to achieve, and all that. But I think one of the things that is one of the, obstruction to this achievement is procrastination. People procrastinate a lot. Let me just leave it. Let me try later, especially when you are trying out something and it's not working. It is very easy for you to procrastinate. So how can one overcome, procrastination? Not just, in a scenario where you are just procrastinating. How can one now, overcome these things when it is not like I want to procrastinate, but I am trying to invest my time, my strength in this particular thing, and it is not working. So how can one overcome this procrastination and then, develop a consistent habit to achieving something?
So your question, I think, is in two phases. If you ask me, how can you overcome procrastination? How can you overcome discouragement?
Yeah.
When you feel it's not working, you're feeling
a procrastination that came through discouragement.
Okay, so procrastination, saying I will do it later, I will do it later. There was this video my husband sent to me. We watched it together. It's actually about an interview. Someone interviewed old people. They went to like old people's home. I think that's in Canada. I think it's in Canada. They have all those facilities, a lot of them there. And so he went to the old people's home and he met several of them. And he interviewed them, asked them questions, and asked them what they wish they had done differently. Now, procrastination is one of the things that many of them wish that they didn't procrastinate some things they wanted in life. You're watching those kinds of videos actually makes you feel like, man, this is my own time. It's running. Some years ago, I was 20. Now I'm 30. Now I'm going up 20 now. If care is not taken, I'll soon if care is not taken. Okay. Whatever happens, as God tarries, we're getting there. We'll get to 40 and then the 20. But then the time keeps running. When you look at your long-term goals and then you focus on them, what you want to achieve, the reward you're going to achieve, it actually has of encouraging you. It's another thing I learned of. It's a loop. The cue, routine, and reward system. You take a cue, make it a routine, and then reward yourself for it. Let's say you want to start an exercise and you need, maybe your outfit for the exercise, maybe your boots, your running boots, exercising boots, or your outfit is always, keep it close by such that immediately after brushing your teeth, it's just by the side smiling at you. You can easily just pick it up and just, let's exercise before going to go and start any other thing. Or you feel like, after brushing my teeth, let me just go and meditate. You have a way of doing something. Maybe you put something by your mirror where you brush your teeth. Something that will encourage you to do that. So you're putting a cue to start the work. For anything, you make it a routine. As soon as you just come there, next thing I'm going to do is to meditate. So these are actually things that will help you overcome procrastination. When you look at, put things in place, structures in place that will help you to start the habit, develop that habit, and you're cultivating and making it grow. Now it's just like you said, most times the reason for procrastination is that you've never sat down to break it down into small bits. If I tell you that your name is Grace,
Yes.
Grace, in the next 1 year, you can you can you can have published 3 books. I am God. I am telling you this. Channel your energy into this kind of activity. And I tell you, firstly, every morning when you wake up, pick up a pen and biro. I'm going to give you inspiration, or those things that you have been telling you of before. Start writing them down. Write only 1 page every day. The next month, write two pages every day.
Mm.
When I tell you write only 1 page, so maybe I tell you write half page every day. When you begin to see them in that light, I can write it now. What's big deal? I'll just write 5 lines, 10 lines. I've finished. So I've broken them down to make it easy to attain.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start that, as soon as that consistency kicks in, before anything becomes a habit, before anything you want to grow it, so you're not enjoying it. No more boring. So firstly, make it that way. And that's use the cue, routine and reward system. Always put things that will bring your attention to
Yeah.
it. Now, one of the bad habits people also have is social media. As soon as I wake up in the morning, next thing is my phone. What's happening? And I'm wondering, I don't like myself. So I'm wondering, like, what does it matter what's happening? It's still my life. I just need to live my life. But the people want to live outside there. And we need to, there are several things you can do to break that habit. Maybe if your phone was not with you, once you wake up in the morning, and your desire is to develop as in consistent quiet time life. Let me tell it that way. Now, if you can decide whenever I sleep, when I wake up, I won't keep my phone by my side. I won't keep my phone on my bed or under my pillow. I can keep it in that room if possible. So that when that urge, once you just pick up your phone, 20, 1 minute has passed, 10 minutes has passed, 30 minutes. Oh boy, I don't late. You are running out of time already. You are running late for work or anything. 20 years now, and I feel I'm always very busy. I'm always overwhelmed. I'm always very busy. All the problems I have. You just forgot that the precious time you had to have organized your life, you spent it on social media. And now, so you're feeling like, okay, what I'm supposed to do? I'll do it later. Oh God, I will do it later. I'll do my quiet time later. Later. You keep procrastinating. And when you come back in the night, I'm tired. Later, procrastinating. So you can actually use this cue. Keep your phone away. So keep your Bible by your side. Isn't that thing? Keep your Bible by your side. So when you wake up in the morning, even if it means you pray for 2 minutes, it's not difficult praying for 2 minutes. You want to start with 2 minutes or 5 minutes, start there, or 10 minutes. Then read your Bible. Then you ask the Holy Spirit, speak to me, Father, I want to hear from you. That, when God says, draw near to me, I'll draw near to you. When you're now serious about it, you see Him open Himself to you. That's actually just maybe spiritual. You're trying to build your spirituality, your spiritual life. The other aspects of it. So have this cue, routine, and reward system. Another thing I also want to encourage anyone that wants to do this is there's something called habit stacking. Habit stacking, such that once you have started this, and once you let me use an example. For instance, my children came back from their grandma's place, and they came out and were telling me like, mommy, in grandma's house we drink 1 big cup of water every morning. I hope drinking water is very important. It's a habit that we all need to develop. So many of us in this part of the country, we actually defaulting in this a lot. And for me myself, I've actually noticed when I was practicing it, I've actually slowed down. I do it once in a while. I don't do it every day. When I was practicing it, I noticed how healthy I was always feeling. I noticed I was always feeling feeling hydrated. You're feeling healthier. You're feeling your energy level is higher than normal. You're just feeling healthy because that cup of water early morning almost feels like it detoxifies you. It's wonderful. It's a very, very therapeutic habit that we should inculcate into our lives this year. No, they told me that now when you wake up in the morning, That's okay. From beginning, before I pray, I'll take water, then pray. You're stacking the habit. You've not been doing this before, but now one thing will lead to another and another and another. In no time at all, you see that it becomes very easy. It's now a normal thing for you. You even do start thinking. Instead of wake up in the morning, you're walking, stretching yourself, you're going to go and take a cup of water. And now after that, you're now saying, you now want to go and pray. After praying, you want to read your Bible. You're now stacking the habits, put it together in that way. In no time at all, you see that you overcome that inertia and you begin to run to become an unconscious activity now.
Wow. Thank you so much.
My
I've
pleasure.
actually learned a lot.
Thank God.
Yeah. We are still talking about habits, and it is not new that a lot of people are into different kinds of habits, addictions, destructive habits, that has introduced so much of negativity to their lives, and of course is affecting them in moving forward or making positive result, giving positive outcome in their lives. So we would love to know, strategies that can help one to overcome addictions and destructive habits. So if I have a habit that is an addiction, but I know is negative, how will I go about it? What are the strategies I need to follow, to help me bring those habits down?
Okay, strategies that you need to, I would say, break from addictions, negative
Yeah.
addictions, because I believe there are positive addictions too, which are
True.
the habits we're talking about
Yeah.
cultivating now. So strategies we need. Firstly is the awareness. Let's use maybe smoking and drinking. You're addicted to this, or maybe procrastination. You are addicted to it. And then you need to break out of it. The first thing is first, are you aware of this habit? If I ask the general, let me say youth, young people of today, are you addicted to your phone? They want to say no, because if when you say addiction, you feel
Yeah.
like it's a bad thing. No. But they can't do without their phones. They can't leave their phone in any place. As if it's almost like if my phone is not there, my right hand is missing. So when you are aware of it and you actually accept that, okay, there's a problem here that needs to be addressed, that's the first step. Self-awareness. Second thing, you're now seeking help to do that. In seeking help, there are different ways. Most times, most people have said, I'm not going to do this again, but they still end up doing it. So those things, what are the triggers? Identify the triggers? What makes you, for instance, if it's smoking and drinking, what are the things that actually make you feel like smoking and drinking? Is it going out with certain kinds of friends when you can now not say no to them? That's peer pressure.
Yeah.
Or is it going to relationships that are unhealthy relationships that will keep making you feel like drinking or smoking, and you feel like you want to drown out your worries? Identify what triggers it. Then now take away those triggers. If it's someone that is always angry, what triggers your anger? What is it exactly? Identify, find it. Once you remove that, you know what they call keyframe habits. Once you remove that trigger, you will find out that you're freer to make decisions with a clear head. You are freer to now decide, okay, no, it's easier now to break those habits once you've identified it and removed it. I was using the example of someone that smokes and drinks, and then the trigger is probably he goes out, he wants to hang out with the boys or the girls. The girls too drink and smoke these days.
Yeah.
So when you notice that, okay, these are the reasons. Once I go out with them, I cannot say no. I will just be drinking. They keep the green bottle in front of me. I will just forget our lives and just drink. Next thing, you say, if I go out with these people, I keep repeating this habit. Fine, break the habit. Take out the trigger. Don't go out with them. Break that relationship. That's actually one of the ways to help you. It might not be, I'm not assuring you that it's going to be easy, but then it's necessary for you to, if you're going to become who you want to be at the end of this year, it's necessary you break that habit. And that thing is actually talk about accountability partners or people, have people you're accountable to. Some people join accountability groups for things like this because they want to get sober. They want to break addiction of drinking and smoking. So you can actually join groups that will actually foster healthy lifestyle, foster you to be sober. And the last and important thing I want to say is to replace those habits. For instance, if it's drinking, you will always feel like drinking. And every time you want to hold the bottle, get water. Replace that bottle with water. That's going to help you, number one, not just to stop the habit, but to develop a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I mentioned firstly, identify it, identify the habits that you're really wanting to break. Secondly, find out what triggers it, what makes you feel like you're embarking on that routine of negative habits. Then thirdly, take out that trigger. If it's not going to be easy, then okay, fourthly, have an accountability group or partners. Then finally, I say replace that habit with a positive one. Because see, they say nature does not respect vacuum or something like that. You cannot just say I will stop and then you'll be fine. If you don't replace it, something will come in there. And what will come in might even be worse than the first habits you're fighting. So it's always good you replace those habits with positive ones.
I really love the last point, to replace. Actually, I believe that nobody is empty. And when you are living this particular habit and you decide to just fold your arms, of course, something similar to that might just come in, or that same addiction, you have been delivered from can easily come in because there is nothing,
Coming
there's a
worse.
space. Yes.
Becoming stronger.
Yes, true. So we would love to know how we could review and adjust, our daily routines for us to be able to work together with. Because as we grow in life, our schedules will change. Our life, there will be a little bit of adjustment in the way our lives is going. So how can we review and then adjust these routines continuously?
Now, reviewing it is actually the, let me say, the happy part of it if you have done the work.
Yeah.
You want to see how well you have done. You want to see how many percent you scored. You write an exam, for instance. What you're interested in is just to know how many percent. 80 and above. Thank God. I got my A. That's I like A. Actually, that's what I like. I like A's. So the one just 70 or 80, you're so happy. Your A is coming already.
Yeah.
So reviewing your habits actually is something that requires intentionality, because it's one thing to set the ball rolling, put up templates, and set a tracking system. Okay, I'll be doing this every day. But if you don't sit back at the end of maybe weekly reviews, monthly reviews, quarterly reviews to see how well you have done. Now, if you don't do that, firstly, you will just be dancing around the air, as in just flying aimlessly. You don't even know whether you're doing well. You don't know if you need to adjust and readjust. But then when you do a weekly review, here's what it does to you. You're able to find out how well, okay, am I making progress towards my desired goal? That's one. You're now able to identify those things that are not really necessary. I can do without this one. This is actually affecting this other one because you've written it down in that way. So this activity, I don't think I need this one again. This one, wow, this one, the time is too short for you. I need to increase the time for this one. This is actually what reviews do for you. Reviews, they actually help you to be able to understand what's really happening, and you are now able to adjust and readjust your schedule and your routines to suit your desired destination. So it's actually very important. If you're doing well, it actually also helps to fuel your motivation so you can go and do better.
Thank you so much. I've learned a whole lot, and I believe that our viewers too, have gotten something they can incorporate to their 2025 to make it successful and better.
Definitely.
So before we go, we love to have last words from you, maybe a word of encouragement, something you want to tell us that will help us, to begin to build positive habits and begin to become very serious with our routines.
Okay, I would like to leave our listeners with this belief and faith in themselves that you can actually achieve that big dream that you imagine for yourself. That's wonderful December 2025. You can have it. And it's not as difficult as you think. There's something we call keystone habits. Maybe it's even waking up early that will change the ball game for you. Maybe you always sleep, you're given to laziness, you always sleep, you and you wake up by 6:30. So it makes you to always be in a hurry, you're always rushing, and you don't have time to really sit back and organize yourself or practice mindfulness or meditation. Now, once you follow this laid down, what we have talked about today, I want you to understand that those dreams are achievable. It's high time you go and write them down and write down habits that can help you achieve those dreams, because those habits are always very small. The habit is not going to be like go and kill a lion. It's not always like that.
Yeah.
Or go and do something impossible. Most times, these habits are very little things. And so I want to encourage our viewers, I almost said listeners because we're always on the radio. Okay, yes, but you're viewing, I also listening. Yes, okay, so I want to encourage you to really don't feel overwhelmed, don't feel discouraged. Start somewhere, write these things down. It's possible. Write it down, work on it, begin to work on it. Like as you're hearing me, write down the big goal you want to achieve, or maybe you don't even know the goal, then just that's a wonderful one. Choose one for yourself. Choose something bigger than where you are right now. Write it down. Write down steps for achieving it, and then begin to work towards it. And if at the end of 1 week or 1 month you feel that you're not making commensurate progress, then review it and keep working at it. I can assure you that we'll celebrate at the top when we get to December 2025 if we do this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot personally, and I believe that everyone watching this have picked one or two things for their 2025.
I'm so glad to hear this.
Yeah, thank you. So, habits shapes people. Choose wisely. A small positive habit today, a stronger you tomorrow. Thank you.